Special guest today, as we know, is Tenzin Gyatso, known to all of us as His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader of Tibet. Now, I needn't say much more about His Holiness except to point out that he was born in 1935, and at the age of just 15, he had assumed full political authority in Tibet after the invasion by the People's Republic of China. At the age of just 19, His Holiness was in Beijing negotiating peace with the then leaders Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping and Zhou Enlai. But in 1959, after the Chinese troops cracked down on a Tibetan national uprising, His Holiness was forced into exile in India, where he has lived for the past 54 years. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989. He's received dozens of honorary doctorates and awards. He's the author of, I counted, Your Holiness, 110 books. Is that right?
I don't know.
110 books, the latest being Beyond Religion, Ethics for a Whole World, and that's the book we're going to discuss this morning.
This is the latest.
Yes, this one here.
Latest.
Yes.
Latest.
Yes, this is, I think, 111. So, so well done as an author as well, Your Holiness. Later this morning, we'll be taking some questions that have been submitted by the members of the audience. Now, before we start, I want to ask, or before we come to your book, Your Holiness, this event was originally scheduled to take place on the campus of the University of Sydney. The university at first declined to have you on the campus, but you did speak at the university. Can I ask you why you think some major institutions might be nervous about having a Nobel Peace Prize winner on the premises?
So that's obviously. Working. Obviously, it's a Tibetan problem. It's very much concerned about Chinese government. So that's the problem.
And is this and
so in fact, you see, Chinese government, the hardliner, you see, always consider me as a spiritist. And then, you see, recent years, even, you see, describe me as a demon. So it is quite logical. They must put pressure, those people who are receiving demon. So quite logical from their viewpoint, isn't it?
Just as I look at your website, Your Holiness, just in the past 2 years, you have been received by the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Prince of Wales, the Prime Minister of Canada, the Chancellor of Austria, the President of Mexico, and the President of Estonia. Are you on the guest list to meet any Australian political leaders this time?
No.
And why do you think that is, sir?
But the organizer, say, not because of the visit Canberra. Right? Of course, I think my meeting, I think one because important leader, I think first, I think Mr. Bush, senior Mr. Bush. Then I think Jimmy Carter and Clinton and Bush. So almost, you see, every sort of president of the United States have opportunity meeting. Then here Australia also, because I should crown Mingdish Examine, the former Paul
Keating, and then John Howard.
Paul Keating, I can't remember the name. John Howard, yes. I remember, I think he sort of responded to some media people. He mentioned meeting with Dalai Lama, will not bring sky fell down. That I remember.
But maybe...
So then, of course, the economy reasons, I think not only political, but economy reasons. China, People's Republic of China, now gaining much more sort of economic power. So, since Deng Xiaoping opened with the outside world, and then it's a mutual benefit. The Chinese people also get immense benefit. Since Deng Xiaoping sort of the initiative about the liberalization, about economy, now China, I think, even it's billionaires now, number of billionaires now develop, and I think living standard, and particularly the coastal area, the living standard is much developed. It's good. So I think including Tibet. Tibet also, you see now, because of a lot of sort of progress because of a lot of development about the economy in China proper. So Tibet also, you see, get some benefit like that. And meantime, many companies, Taiwanese or American and Japanese and many, you see, they found it's a very good sort of place making money in China. So anyway, you see, they found it's a little cheap labor. So that's also anyway exploitation.
Well,
but in any way, it's a major benefit. It's good. It is important.
Well, of course, there's
so these leaders, I think, a little bit sort of cautious. If you see because of the certain because of irritation to the Chinese government, it may sort of harmful for their economic relations. That's understandable.
Well, let's talk now about Tibet before we get to your book. Now, you left Tibet in 1959, but I'm quite sure that you watch the situation on a daily basis. What do your colleagues and friends in Tibet tell you about the situation now, each day, that's going on in Tibet?
Last over 60 years, there are, because of the various way, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and sometimes very serious. For example, 1954, I went to Peking to participate People's sort of Congress. And then during that period, I met, I think all the leaders, and particularly Chairman Mao Zedong, several times I met. And eventually, see, we developed some kind of very closeness of feeling. I almost feel Chairman Mao like father. He considered me as his son. We really developed very sort of close sort of feeling. And meantime, I received a lot of sort of useful advice from him. So when I first went to Peking, 1954, perhaps I think September. Then when I returned, May or June 1955. Actually, now one example. When I returning on the road, I met the general, the 18th Division. His name, Zhang Guoha. Very nice person, bit educated. Some leaders, some military leaders, just come from peasant, so not much educated. But he, I think, because of the background sort of some sort of education there. So very nice person. So when I coming back, you see, he go to Peking on the road in Gongbo area, I think in Ningji area we met. And then I told him, last year when I come through this road, full of fear, suspicion. Now I'm coming back, same road, full of confidence, hope. because you see, I met all the leaders, and also I study communism and socialism. I very much attracted about socialism and Marxism. So still, as far as socio-economic theory is concerned, I'm Marxist, but not Leninist.
Right.
I think in 1979, then Soviet Union is still there. I had opportunity to visit Soviet Union. I also what called the Muslim survey. Mausoleum. You see the great leader or Tibetan is I think Tibetan is where. Tyrant. His body went there.
Your Holiness.
Of course, you see, although you see they arranged, you see that sort of visit. But meantime, and also you see, I visited the Kremlin, sort of the office where Lenin worked. So always you see one uniformed police always to come. They see some kind of a little bit of suspicion. Unfortunately, the real sort of drawback is Marxism with sort of political power. I think in 1917 and 18, not only within Russia, but also from outside the world, you see some kind of negative sort of negative attitude, and also just supporting. So the Marxist regime, also the initial stage, you see that kind of circumstance, that kind of situation. So secrecy and you see tight control, more militant way, at that develop. Unfortunately, then whole Marxist regime, that kind of sort of habit then become part of their system. That's unfortunate. So I really feel Lenin really destroy the real beauty of Marxism. That's how I feel. So in any way, at that time, really very hopeful.
Yes.
Then another thing, early 80, Hu Yanfang there, he came to Lhasa. You see, his sort of expression is really wonderful.
Yes, I'm thinking, Your Holiness, though, in the last couple of years there have been, as you know, 100 people who've self-immolated in protest against the Chinese occupation or presence in Tibet. I mean, I'm wondering just how gruesome the reports are on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, of course, very sad. Now, in fact, our calculation since 59, since 1949 and 51, since then, people who killed and die in Gulag, and then starvation till 60, I think till around mid 60. Our sort of calculation, roughly 1.2 billions of people killed.
1.2 million.
Right, yes, 1.2 millions Tibetan killed, died. Then I think more authentic, one Chinese historian, writer, you see, one lady, you see, she carried some research, how many people killed since 50, from 56 up to 62. You see, according her research, on the basis of military secret document and also I think some sort of the document, he found over 300 Tibetan killed. 300,000, over 300,000. This is quite reliable. So we suffer a lot. And then whole Tibet area, now kind of the atmosphere is fear. Very difficult. Not only Tibetan area, but within China also. Sometimes when I met some Chinese, you see, many years ago, I think 1990, around 1990, this very period, one group of Chinese, young Chinese, I met in Delhi. They told me, nowadays, see, China, nobody can speak what they really feel. Always remain fear, suspicion. So that really, you see, I think, you see, very sad. Now, you see, these points are truly very important in order to build a happy society, happy country. That's no question.
Well, let me talk now about your book, Your Holiness, Beyond Religion, because you answer some of the, or you pose answers to some of the crises that exist in the world today. In your book, you write, though religion certainly has the potential to help people lead happy and meaningful lives, it too can be misused and become a source of conflict and division. Do you think that we can blame religion in any way for what's going on right now in, for example, Syria?
No, actually, we can't blame religion. I always say that, like French Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, there is some kind of a tendency against religion, that actually not religion itself, but religious institution. Religion, what's the real meaning of religion is compassion, tolerance, self-discipline, forgiveness. Who against that? The very motivation of revolution is a concern about poorer section of the people, exploited people. Karl Marx's sort of the whole his movement, whole his theory is meant for those exploited, the working class people. And the Chinese Revolution also, the Bolshevik Revolution also, you see, those czars and his sort of the elite sort of upper class people, they have everything. Now, I think during First World War, a lot of Russian army, you see, just you should stand as a sort of as a something sort of like what say the semi-pembo.
Some kind of object, inanimate objects.
No, so the what say no concern of life of these individual soldiers. I think immense suffering. So that also causing Lenin. I think that was at that time Lenin was in Switzerland. Then he kept close contact. Then he found, you see, now Russian people really fed up. So then he took the opportunity. Then gradually Bolshevik sort of revolution. So this very motivation is concerned about the well-being of the working class people. That's a majority. That's a needy people. So then such as a person, how can against compassion? How can criticize compassion? So religious institution, then different. People who use religious institution and also religious name and use for their own different interest. Now Syria, main sort of cause, and also Northern Ireland, and also in different area where the conflict, where religious name is involved, actually their personal interest or the group of people, so their own personal power, interest for economy, then manipulate name of religion. So that's my view. So now here perhaps, I think my answer is too long, I think.
No.
I think you need some kind of city. Mark.
Well,
if you say too long, then
well, there are many questions that we all want to ask you. What about, Your Holiness, the situation in the region in Myanmar? Now, you have talked about the attacks led by some people of the Buddhist faith on Muslims in parts of Myanmar. I mean, is that a religious conflict, Your Holiness?
No.
What kind of conflict is that?
Economy. And the local people, Muslim population increase. There is some threat of economy, the Buddhist population, and maybe some political reasons. That's obvious. And then also, you see, I heard some the Burmese monk, their monastery used for shelter of many Muslims. So we can't say, you see, these are due to religion. So therefore, you see, sometimes you see people, you see, because they are really fed up about conflict in the name of religion. So therefore, sometimes the people say, now world without religion may be safer. That's totally wrong. I think various different religious traditions really provide us basis of hope and basis of purpose of life. Whether theistic religion or non-theistic religion. So if now the problem is those people, I often telling people, now out of 7 billion, according to some sort of report, say over 1 billion human being, they formally say non-believer. That also quite a big number. Then among less than 6 billion human who supposed to be believer, but if we really examine their day-to-day life, I don't think really religious believer. Isn't it? Only in the church, only in even Buddhist, in Buddhist temple, yes, some prayer. Outside temple, nothing. If there is opportunity comes to see, kill or bully or stealing, lie, telling lie, like that. So whether we take religion or not, that is up to individual. Once we take religion, then we should be serious and sincere. Then all religion have the same potential to bring sensible human being. Yeah.
Now, this book, Beyond Religion, it's filled with what I might call a gentle wisdom. But I sometimes wonder, Your Holiness, if it doesn't require a kind of superhuman kindness and patience and generosity to live up to the codes. Because if you look at what's happening in Syria, in Darfur, the communal violence in Nigeria, what occurred in Iraq and Bosnia, is it still possible to argue, as you do in this book, and this is your quote, that we have an instinctive urge to help the stranger on the street or to ease the sufferings of those people that we see on television? In the light of all that modern tragic history, can we still argue that?
Oh. I'm sort of looking basic human nature. We born from our mother, and next few years, as we grow, we survived by mother's affection. If mother abandoned, even I think 1 week, we die. So our survival because of others' sort of affection, others' care. That's basic human nature. So at that time, we received immense sort of affection from our mother and some others. So that experience really absorbed in our blood. So those people who received that kind of, sort of experience have potential to show affection, kindness to others. Now, problem, when we gradually grown up, you see, that value not much sort of relevant. Your own sort of hard work, your own education, your own ability, no need others' affection. And then existing modern education system, not talking about these values, just money or these material value. So material thing, you see, these things, of course, you see, I love, you see, my sort of my watch, but if I kiss the watch, no feeling. Isn't it? No. Just use for use. No expectation. Respond me, affection. Small cat. Oh, sometimes you see they do that. Oh, sometimes you see a little bit sort of, you need a little cautious. Otherwise, you see these cat, if you effectively sort of treated them, they also have the ability to show affection. They have no sort of language, but you see, they dogs usually is licking, and cat, when you keep here like that, and very peaceful. I think sometimes I feel, you see, the owner return home with a little bit sort of negative face, sad sort of face. Sometimes I think these dogs may realize, then show you special sort of affection. Clear. So, and particularly those social animals, even ants, I don't know, so they have affection or not, I don't know. But you see, those...
not if they sting you, but...
those who say social animal, it's just some experts say they have some limited altruism, some kind of concern each other. So then we also social animals. So very basis of our existence, our happy life, depend on the rest of the community. No question. Big lead, sort of, or say the educated or some very, very because of the marvelous sort of person, no matter how sort of powerful, if that person remains singly, cannot survive. That's the human nature. Then the emotion level. What is emotion? To bring together. That is compassion, love. Emotion, anger, expel. Biologically, this emotion, you see, now for example, biologically, when develop fear, then blood goes to leg, ready to run away. When you see anger develop, the blood circulation more in hand, ready to fight. So all these emotions and the body sort of structure very much close is linked. So ultimate sort of, because of the source of affection is body, because of biological factor. So I'm stressing we have biologically the potential of affection. We born that way. We receive the immense sort of affection. Now, problem, when we grown up, then you see, we pay more attention about material value. Material, no possibility of affection. So then ourselves feel affection is some unrelated, only money, only power. So that I feel, if may I say so, existing modern education fail to nurture these basic human values, further strengthening. The religion do that, but then those people who are not much serious about religion and those people who have no interest about religion, there's no way to nurture this sort of the potential thing. So therefore, you see, now the very aim this is, you see, whether believer or non-believer, you see, we must sort of think more seriously these values. These values is ultimate source of happy life, not money, not power. So that people usually you see, do not know that. Now we must educate them. The potential of happy life is here. Potential of peace of mind is here, not on money, not on power. No matter how sort of sophisticated sort of a computer technology cannot produce affection. Only here.